Thursday, April 24th, me and Ross, who's here doing this mock draft with me, and then another friend of mine who's a Seahawks fan. Ross is a Jags fan. We're all going to be watching the draft come through, support your team, whichever one that may be one of the other, 29 teams. But I want to do a really quick mock draft just for fun. This is solely going to be what we think is going to happen. No real logic besides that. And hi, Ross. How's it going?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm tired as hell. It's late as hell. All right, so pick number one. The way this is going to work is we're just going to trade on and off. But I think pick number one, we both know what's going to happen. It's pretty much a foregone conclusion. It's going to be Cam Ward.
Cam Ward, yeah.
It's going to be Cam Ward. But this is where the draft gets interesting. I'll give you pick number two. What do the Browns do at pick number two?
Honestly, I'm thinking Travis Hunter would be a great pick here, but I feel like the pairing of Myles Garrett and Abdul Carter for the Browns would be the best option for them.
Yeah, I think it's the right pick, honestly, because I love Travis Hunter.
Same.
I really do love Travis Hunter. Do I love him enough to select him at number 3 for the Giants? I don't think it's the biggest need, but it's such a flashy pick and such a big market. I think that's what they'll end up doing. So I'm going to go Travis Hunter at 3.
Yeah. With the Patriots, they did do a lot of signings in free agency, but I see them taking offensive tackle Will Campbell out of LSU to bolster up that O line for Drake May.
Yeah, because Lord knows he needs it. Oh my God, I was watching.
Yes, he does.
I was watching. Who's the goddamn backup that was there last year who had to play? It wasn't Drake May.
Brissett.
I was watching a game where Brissett was starting. He was under more hell than I've ever seen, and I'm a fucking Titans fan. So,
yeah,
it's gonna be bad.
I mean, he beat the Bengals though, didn't he, in Week 1?
Yeah, I think he did.
Very surprising. The Bengals are an interesting team when it comes to the first 2 weeks.
I don't know, but number 5. This is, I guess, my pick for your Jags.
Yeah.
I know you want Will Johnson. I
mean, I feel like we could definitely trade up if Jacksonville really wanted him later, because obviously we have an early second. Some people think he is going to fall in the first round. I don't see it.
I don't see it either. But
don't know.
If he falls to like 20, where the Broncos' main need is like a tight end, or where people are projecting they take Loveland.
I mean, well, no, they don't need a tight end. They signed Evan Ingram,
who's always hurt.
So, I mean, he played like most of last season, I think.
That's not. That's the exception to the rule. Anyways, I'm gonna give you Mason Graham. I think he's the best. I think it's just the best fit right here. Yeah.
So for the Raiders, I'm saying Ashton Jeanty. Obviously, you have Geno Smith for a 2-year deal. Honestly, I'd say wait out Geno Smith's contract and just take a quarterback later. Geno is older, yes. Is he that good? Not really. But that team has holes everywhere. This draft is not going to make him a playoff contender.
Yeah, no matter
Ashton Jeanty
what.
to the Raiders.
That Raiders team. No. I mean, Ashton Jeanty is going to be fun to watch. I almost kind of feel bad for Jeanty, though, because he's going to a scenario where I feel he's going to be the main focus of attack for a defense, which just is going to suck as a rookie running back.
But something I see, I feel like this is going to be similar with the Falcons situation, because they had Kyle Pitts, a good tight end, and a decent receiver with Drake London at the time. Then they draft Bijan.
Yeah.
And if Ashton Jeanty does go to the Raiders, you have Jacoby Myers, who isn't the best, but is fairly solid. Then at tight end, you do have Brock Bowers, who is emerging to be one of the best in the league.
Absolutely. Jets at 7. I'm not going to really overthink it. It's either going to be Kelvin Banks or Armand Membu. And I think Membu's just the better prospect. I'm going to give him that tackle help. That's their main need.
Yep. I agree. For the Panthers, this is an interesting selection for them because they did do a bunch of bolstering in free agency, but I can't remember if they did any to that defensive line. So I'm going to take Jalen Walker out of Georgia for the Panthers.
Ooh, I like that a lot.
I feel like they need D-line.
I'm super high on Jalen Walker. I see a lot of mock drafts where he falls. I just think
Really?
I think it should be the opposite. I think Jalen Walker should be maybe what some people consider a reach at first, because I think he's kind of a lock to be a really great player.
I mean, we have seen with the defensive line out of Georgia, mainly taken by the Eagles, Nolan Smith, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, all been very exceptional players.
Right. So, yeah, I think that's kind of at 8 as much of a steal as you can get there, because he could end up being one of the top 5 best players out of this draft. I think, anyways. This is tough here. The Saints. The Saints are a real question mark. I really don't like what people have been doing, sending Shedeur there, because I get the argument, Derek Carr is hurt. Yeah, he's hurt for half the year. You don't draft for half the year. You draft for the next 10 years at number 9. You don't draft for half of a year. I don't think Shedeur goes there. I really don't.
No, not at all.
So
I could see 2 players go into the Saints with McMillan or Will Johnson.
I'm thinking the same thing. I think it's more of a need right now for them to take a receiver over corner. I think this is going to be the first reach. I'm giving him Matthew Golden.
Really? Matthew Golden.
I'm giving them Matthew Golden. T-Mac is falling down draft boards really pretty dang fast. I don't think that's for any wrong reason either. Matthew Golden comes from an SEC school. He comes from Texas. And Steve Smith has him as wide receiver number 1.
Yeah.
I think there's merit to that from Steve Smith. Yeah, I'm going Matthew Golden at 9.
For Chicago, another team that did a lot of bolstering during the offseason. I'm not sure really what they do here. I feel like the Bears, out of all the top 10 teams, they are the biggest wild card on who to take. But honestly, I still think they go offensive line. I think they take Kelvin Banks out of Texas.
Yeah, if they don't do that, I think they could trade down. I think they're a candidate to trade down.
Maybe.
Because they could still trade down like 5 picks and probably still get Kelvin Banks. Maybe if Miami doesn't take him. Niners are a weird one. Kind of.
Very.
I think at this point...
I think they go defense.
Yeah, I think this is where the slip of Will Johnson stops. I think they're going to take Will Johnson here. I think that's enough of a need for them to take a top 10 guy.
That's fair. For the Cowboys, honestly, I see Dak Prescott eventually leaving and Shedeur Sanders coming to the Cowboys.
You know what? I love
Just
that.
like his father.
Oh, I love that. And I saw
Sanders to the Cowboys.
I saw a thing where it was like some skit saying, "Oh, what? They're just going to turn their back on Dak and get Shedeur so they can get eyes on the biggest market on the biggest team, or on America's team, or whatever he was saying." Someone's going to get that, but I really like that. I think it's absolutely possible. Actually, I don't like it, but I think it's very possible.
I mean, I like it. I don't see Shedeur being a very good player, and I don't see him being good at any team at all.
You're a supreme Shedeur hater. This is a weird scenario here because the top 3 tackles are taken off the board for Miami, and that's probably their biggest need. Not even probably. It's their biggest need to get Tua some protection. If you're going to allow him to keep playing football, I think he should retire at this point. But with the lack, I mean, Tyler Booker's way down the board. Josh Simmons is a
Yeah.
fringe first maybe second round guy. Again, I think this is a situation where they could trade down. I think you should trade down, but I'm not doing trades in this. You can do trades if you want, Ross, but
I'm not.
I'm going to give them another Georgia guy. This is a bit of a reach, but Malachi Starks. I'm going to give him safety help.
Ooh. I mean, they did lose Javon Holland to free agency. So that could be a good replacement for them.
I just don't know what else they would do. I guess they could go like Derek Harmon, but that's even... It's just it's such a weird scenario for Miami, honestly, if this is how the draft goes. If Kelvin Banks falls to 13, they'll take him. Absolutely, but...
Yeah. So, for the Colts.
We hate the Colts.
Honestly, they have... I genuinely do hate the Colts.
Me too.
But do see them taking tight end Tyler Warren out of Penn State.
It's...
Bolstering up that receiver room is a big need.
Yeah, I'd
Michael
say...
Pittman
sorry,
is sometimes a question mark. Alec Pierce, he's always a question mark. I genuinely believe in Joshua Downs, but they need a tight end. Mo Alley Cox is not cutting it.
No.
Tyler
no,
Warren to the Colts.
Yeah, I think Tyler Warren, that pick, is almost on par with like the Cam Ward pick, where it's just everyone kind of knows that's probably how it's going to go.
Yeah. It's
just such an obvious need. The Falcons, I'd say a pretty obvious need here. I'm actually no. Let me backtrack there. They are a candidate. No matter what it'll be defense.
Really?
Yeah, I don't see them going anything other than defense. But there's a lot of edge rushers that I like. The one I'm highest on is James Pierce Jr. That's
really
my favorite. I basically fell in love with his combine and how he moved, but I'm gonna give them Shamar Stewart. I think Shamar Stewart. And that's just I'm touchy feel. I think it could be any edge. I think any of the top 5 edges, so like Pierce, Ezaraku, Mike Green, Shamar Stewart, Mykel Williams. Probably Mykel Williams goes off the board first. I almost wish I could take that pick back and give him Mykel Williams, but they're getting Shamar Stewart.
Yeah. For the Cardinals, I'm not too sure what this team needs. I feel like they have some great fills at some positions, but some major gaps at some others. Here, I feel like they also will go edge, and I see them taking my favorite edge in the draft, Mike Green from Marshall.
Out of Marshall? Small school.
Very small. Last first round Marshall player, I believe, was Byron Leftwich to the Jags.
Yeah.
That was a good while ago.
2 decades ago.
Why did we draft him?
Beats me. Bengals. Bengals. I gotta be honest, I know nothing about the needs of the Bengals. Obviously, they're on my frickin' screen right now, but I don't know how much I can believe that.
Yeah.
What this is telling me, though, is they are in desperate need of defensive line help, which I do believe, absolutely 100%.
I do believe that with the sudden retirement of Sam Hubbard and possible trade rumors with Ted Hendrickson. Or Trey Hendrickson, I forget his first name. But I feel like another edge would probably be the best option for them.
Yeah, this is wild, though, because this is 3 edge rushers off the board in a row. And these are the first ones off the board as well. Well, aside from Abdul Carter. But Abdul Carter's kind of in a league of his own.
Yeah. Well, and Walker from Georgia as well.
Right, they list him as a linebacker here. Is he, I don't know enough about Jalen Walker right now. I don't know about his pass coverage.
This says he's an edge. So, could be DN outside linebacker area.
Well, either way, I think at this point, if you're at 17 and Michael Williams is still on the board, you jump all over that. There's a reason that Georgia produces so much talent, like you said. Yeah, Michael Williams at 17, I think, is an absolute steal.
I agree with that. For Seattle, the loss of DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett is very big. Obviously, you did gain Cooper Kupp, and you still have JSN, but their tight end, I'm not sure who they have. I think they still have Noah Fant.
I'll just look it up.
I believe they are going to take Michigan's tight end Colston Loveland.
Here? Okay.
Yes, I see it.
It's I don't know why I said it's early. I guess it's just I think of them going to the Broncos. That's what I usually see. But I don't hate that at all.
Yeah.
The last Seahawks tight end I can name is like Jimmy Graham.
Then he hasn't been there since like 2020. Last I knew, he was with the Saints, I think 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He went back to the Saints.
He has had a long career, hasn't he?
Very long. I think he came in 2011, 2010.
Dang. Buccaneers.
Yeah, he started with basketball too.
He does what now?
Yeah, he only played 1 year of college football. He was a basketball player first.
That's not honestly basketball players becoming tight ends is yeah,
I mean, he is
checks
6'7".
out. Yeah.
He is pretty tall.
This is another one that I see pretty gosh darn often is Jahdae Barron to the Buccaneers. I'm gonna stick with that.
I was thinking someone else.
I mean, Jahad Campbell's another
Barron,
one I see.
I mean, with how old Levante David is, he's retiring after this upcoming season.
Yeah, so
I'm surprised he re-signed. I'm very surprised he re-signed.
Well, we'll see how much he has left in the tank, but I'm sure Jahad Campbell would have been a better pick there.
Maybe, but Denver. This is an interesting choice. They had some great pickups on defense, so I don't think they're going defense. Honestly, I think they might go Marion Hampton.
I knew it. I knew it. I had it at the ready.
Who do they even have at running back? They lost Javonte Williams. See? You might as well start fresh.
No clue at all here. So my actual prediction for 21 can't happen. Like, I can't put it here. I think there will be enough of a slip for Shedeur to go to Pittsburgh, but maybe not.
I could see it. Maybe.
Either way, though, 21... Is it... I don't want them to go quarterback here, but I could easily see them going quarterback. I like the pairing of Jalen Milroe there, kind of. Just I do, even though I don't think Jalen Milroe should be a first-round pick. Jalen Milroe received a like a draft room invitation for some reason. And the one team I could see him going to is Pittsburgh. Outside of that, though, I also just think Derek Harmon is still on the board. You need D-tackle help. Just take Derek Harmon. Don't really risk it for an unproven quarterback. There, if you can't get Shedeur, you're not getting Cam Ward, obviously. So go ahead and pick the more guaranteed option in Derek Harmon.
Here with the Chargers, their biggest need is got to be a receiver.
Yeah.
So honestly, I feel like they are definitely going to take Emeka Ibuka out of Ohio State. I think he is the best receiver in the class.
You might be right about that. Gosh dang.
I feel like he is the best receiver in the class. I feel like Emeka Ibuka is going to the Chargers in the first round.
Poor T-Mac. There's a reason he's slipping, though. I don't think either of us have that much belief in T-Mac right now.
I don't.
So 23 got Green Bay. Just the way this has played out so far, I think they'd be wrong to not go with Jihad Campbell. That sounds to me like a Packer. Sometimes my picks are based on, does this player sound like they would go to that team? Like John A. Barron sounds like a Buccaneer to me. Omarion Hampton sounds like a Bronco. Jihad Campbell sounds like a Packer. I'm going to go ahead and give him to Green Bay. Even though I think they probably, at this stage, if T-Mac is there, you take T-Mac, probably. But no, I think Jihad Campbell sounds like a Packer.
Yeah. With the Vikings losing Cam Robinson to the Texans and Christian Darrisaw usually is injured, I feel like Josh Simmons from Ohio State goes to the Vikings.
Yep. I'm with you there.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, you trade away, gosh dang, Bong Boy. Can't remember his name. I just remember the picture of
Laremy Tunsil for Washington.
Thank you. Laremy Tunsil's gone. Great, you get Cam Robinson. Fantastic. You still need the rest of the offensive line. You got Tyler Booker, Gray Zabel, who is a tackle at North Dakota State, is going to play interior offensive line in the league, more than likely. So it's between those guys. I'd say pick the higher. Just Tyler Booker, I think. Alabama. It's a bigger school. More close to home. Pick Tyler Booker. Bolster up the offensive line. It's pretty much what they need, I think.
Fair. The Rams losing Cooper Kupp is a bit of a loss by adding Devontae Adams, who is older, but is he still a little better than Cooper Kupp? I'm not really sure. But I feel like T-Mac goes to the Rams here.
I like it.
I feel like they need a receiver. And obviously they bolstered up their defense last year with Jared Verse, which was a phenomenal pick for them.
Yeah, that's I like T-Mac to the Rams a lot. I think if the Rams don't take him, I think a dark horse to take T-Mac could be the Ravens in desperation just to give Lamar help. But in this scenario, I think...
But they did sign DeAndre Hopkins, but that's obviously just a short-term.
Yeah, that's very short-term. And honestly, how much of a Band-Aid is that anymore? I don't know. I really don't know anymore.
Yeah.
Ravens, though, should go defense here. I still, even with the Lamar Jackson Ravens nowadays, I still think when I hear Ravens, I think of Ray Lewis, Chris McAllister. I think of defense, hard-hitting defense, and I want them to take a hard-hitting defensive kind of guy. Nick Emenwari, he's felon. Motherfucker. He's fallen so far, and he's going to stop falling, and he's going to go to the Ravens.
Okay. Interesting. So with the Lions, obviously Hutch coming off of a gruesome injury, I feel like they go James Pierce Jr., bolster up that D-line. There are rumors of them trading up to possibly still get James Pierce Jr. or even Mike Green or somebody else. This class has so many edge rushers in it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But James Pierce Jr. to the Lions.
I want to touch on that real quick. So we got Abdul Carter, Mason Graham. He's a D tackle, but as far as front seven help in this draft, Jalen Walker, all of the edge rushers that could go anywhere from, say, even 10 or 12 to the end of the first round. And then second round help as well. If you look at Donovan Ezeraku, Landon Jackson, you look at linebacker Carson Schweissinger. I know he's a mid-round or a mid-second round guy. There's a lot of help in this draft if you need front seven help.
And even Kenneth Grant out of Michigan, some people do see him going in the first round as well.
So it's an exciting draft to be a defensive-minded kind of team. Washington. What is Washington's main need? Probably defense.
Well, they did lose a big bolster on that defense with Jonathan Allen going to the Vikings in free agency. So I could see them going D-tackle, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people put go Siobhan Ravel. Maybe a little bit of a reach. I think a little too much of a reach for me to take that. I'm gonna hurry up and I'd say let's get Tylik Williams. I think at that stage anyone can go anywhere.
Buffalo. This team, Buffalo is interesting right now because I feel like they are very well-rounded, but I'm not 100% sure. I feel like the team is as good as it can be. I feel like the coaching staff definitely need to change somewhere, but I have no clue what they go here. Maybe offensive line, Gray Zabel maybe. Give Josh Allen a bit more help. This is another wild card pick. It's hard to choose. But yeah, I'll say Gray Zabel.
I mean, they could trade out, but at this point, it's a late first round pick. You know, you're gonna get pretty much what you think you're gonna get, and I'm with you. I don't think the problem is with the players. I think it's a fantastic team. Obviously, they're picking 30. But they haven't gone over the hump. Obviously, they have to play Patrick Mahomes every gosh darn year. They got to play the Ravens every year. They're just an underperforming team right now. Speaking of Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs.
Yep.
Gray Zabel actually is usually my pick at 31. Of the dozen mock drafts. Do they take Donovan Jackson? You know what? Yeah, sure. Give him Donovan Jackson. I don't think you could really go wrong with offensive line help at 31. And that just leaves Philadelphia at 32, the Super Bowl champions.
With Lane Johnson getting a lot older, I could probably see Josh Connerly Jr. going to the Eagles, but I'm not 100% sure. I feel like this is probably one of the better picks for them, as obviously they really don't need defense, as I think they only lost one defensive player this free agency, so not really a big loss, but I'll go Josh Connerly Jr. out of Oregon.
Yeah, that's
for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, that's tough at 32. Again, you're really just trying to bolster obviously your Super Bowl winning team. But here we go. Full draft results right here on screen, as you can see. Obviously, Cam Ward, the more the time goes on, and this is coming from the Titans fan, it's gone 80-20 Cam Ward, 90-10 Cam Ward, 95-5 Cam Ward. Now I'm sitting at 75-25.
Really?
I see a world where the first pick is Abdul Carter. I see a world where I actually don't really see a world where Shedeur goes number 1. I kind of see Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter's like a 1% if I guess the Titans coaching staff is on some strong unknown substance. Maybe they take them, but should be Cam Ward. I like this draft a lot, though. Anyways, I said I was trying to keep it short. Sorry. Ended up being a little longer than I wanted to. But
it's still fun.
Thursday, again, April 24th, will be on, 6:30 for me, so 7:30 Eastern time. We will have my other friend. We'll have our friend Mac. He's a Seahawks fan. And, what a sad life he lives. But that'll be interesting. Yeah, boo-hoo. He's picking at 18. Anyways, I will see y'all there. Thank you, Ross, for doing this mock draft with me. I'll see you also at the draft. Y'all have a great day. Take care.